Hey, Mr. Stan 913 here. And again, I guess you can guess we have another live stream. And today we're going to talk about our trip to Hawley, Pennsylvania that we did back in January. We're going to talk about the hotel that we stayed at. We're going to talk about some of the things we did in the area. We're going to also talk about the restaurants that we went to in our 2-night stay in Hawley, PA. Just off the top, it was about 2.5 hours from where we live. It was a nice drive up in Pennsylvania. And again, today I have my wife Dorothy here. Welcome back, Dorth. How you doing?
Good.
Um, and I guess we'll start. I'm going to go to our next slide and let's talk about the Ledges Hotel, Darth. So this is pretty cool. This is what it looks like at night. It's a very old hotel,
Well, it's
uh,
a very old building. It
old
was
building.
a silk mill that they converted into a hotel.
Yeah, and in this small little lobby area, the people there, though, the staff and the front desk people, are probably the nicest we've ever dealt with in any of the hotels we've stayed in. Um, But one thing about it is the waterfall, and you see right here. So this falls is right outside the hotel. That's why they call it the Ledges. And that week, probably weeks leading up to when we went, we've had a lot of rain in our area in January. So there's dams upstream, and they had to open up the dam to release some of the water. So normally you don't see this raging like this, but it was raging for the 2 days we were there. And they said it was open for 3 weeks, right? The water was raging like that. And it's the first time, what did they say? First time
I think
in,
it was only 3 times in the whole history of the place that they've had to open the dam.
yeah. And what else do you want to talk about the hotel, Darth?
So, the hotel, beautiful view wherever you are, whether you're in the lobby, the restaurant, you just have this amazing view of the falls. And what I didn't realize before reserving, which is something I'm not sure if you could get in advance, but they have activities at the hotel. We went on a Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and of course, those were the 3 days that they didn't really offer too much in the way of activities. Every evening, they did offer us a free cocktail, which was nice. And they had live piano music and champagne toast, different things like that. But during the week, they have a brewery tour, they have a chocolate tour, they have tarot card readings, they have history tours of the silk mill. So if I were to come back here, I might think about coming back like a Wednesday through Friday because that's when a lot of the tours are offered. The activity, you get a daily activity schedule, and this was running from Columbus Day to Memorial Day. I'm assuming during the summer the activities change, plus they probably offer more in the summer than in the winter. The other nice thing that they offered was they had walking sticks there for when you go hiking. You can just grab a walking stick, it's free. They also have a shuttle service. The other thing I did not realize is that they own a ton of properties in the area. They own a couple hotels, a couple restaurants. We ate at all, not all of them, but several of their locations. And the nice thing is they do offer shuttle service. We didn't take advantage of it, but I think it's something that's nice to realize before you go.
And the restaurant in the hotel is at the bottom of the hotel, and you'll see in one of these pictures, like a glass below, that's the restaurant. So at night, it was pretty beautiful to watch the falls running here while we were eating dinner. But it did get a little icy. You see this deck here. It was cold and it got icy at night. Somebody actually took a header and fell while they were trying to take pictures in front of the falls. It got cold, but it was really, really cool. And the desserts were really good. We'll
The
get into that with the restaurants when we get to that slide. But
okay.
the room overall, what you think of the room?
Room was nice. A little bit on the small side, but very, very nice. And we had ground floor, but it still was a beautiful view outside. The only thing I'd be aware of getting a room on the ground floor, especially in the summertime, I think it's liable to be noisy because there's like a patio area literally right outside our room.
Yeah.
But in the wintertime, it was beautiful to look out. It was a nice view.
Yeah, and yeah, there was a draft too. We had a little bit of a draft, and they do have they had
They have space heaters in each of the rooms, I think, because it gets so cold. We had turned the heat on and it just wasn't getting warm in our room. It was very cold and windy that weekend. And we discovered that they do have a space heater, and once you turn that on, it warmed up the room nicely.
yeah. But overall, the room was nice. We were right at the hallway was warm. In the morning, we went out there, and there was nobody there. It was real quiet in the lobby.
And in the lobby, 24 hours a day, they have snacks and beverages there. Basic stuff, but they have like these butter cookies and
Yeah,
coffee and water, and
yeah,
that was really nice too.
yep. So our first day, we just drove around. We did a lot of antique
Uh,
shopping.
yeah, and just one more thing in the lobby, they have lots of games in the lobby, which is neat. So if you just want to sit in the lobby and play a game, you can.
Yeah, and there's a picture of the glass of the hotel, the restaurant at the bottom of the hotel there. Um, but through that, our first day, we did some antique shopping, drove around. There's a lot of stores. There was a gentleman in one of the shops that told us about a pizza place that we went to. It was a brick oven pizza place that we did actually on our last day.
Yeah, that's called
Um,
the Ringside, and I highly recommend it. I thought the pizza was amazing,
yeah,
delicious.
yeah. So we went there on our last day before we went home, and it was like a brick oven pizza. We actually got two pies and took some home with us. But uh, the next day we did our first full day. We decided to go down. I guess you could say down the mountain, down the hill, and we went near Bushkill Falls. And near Bushkill Falls, there's a lot of other waterfalls that you can see, and they're all free national parks. And we parked, and you couldn't drive up the road. They have it closed this time of year, so you had to walk the road to get to the falls. So the first falls we went to was uh,
Digman.
Digman Falls, and we had to walk the road to get to the trail that takes you to the falls. And it was a little icy, but when you got to the trail, you walked through it and you got to the falls. But we've done that when the kids were little. But what did you think of that, Dorothy?
It was beautiful. A couple things to be aware of in the winter. If you go to Google it, it's going to say road closures, but it doesn't tell you what road. And we were hesitant whether to go because the weather was a little icy, and we were worried that one of the roads were going to be closed. What it was referring to is the road going up to Digman Falls is closed in the winter. So if you Google it, don't get alarmed or don't not go because your maps say, there's a road closure, because that's what it's referring to. The other thing, that the hotel actually has a waterfall tour, and we're familiar with the area, so but I took it anyway, and it is helpful, especially if you don't know where to start. The nice thing about it is it's like a continuous loop, so if you start at the very first direction, you could not even have maps on your phone. You could just follow this, and it'll lead you through lots of different falls. So Digman Falls, I would say, is probably my favorite because it has a nice trail
That's
that
that
you
right
walk
there.
out.
There's the trail.
Um, and it was too icy for us, but you can go up, and there's a trail going up that leads you to the top of the waterfall
And
at
I
the end.
actually, real quick, we do have a video posted out there of the day we went to the falls. So that whole day, I have a video posted out on Mr. Stan 913.
Then the second falls we went to, which is Raymond Skills, it's literally right up the street. That fall is not so much a walking fall, not walking paths, but it is amazing to see. It's like this huge falls. So it's impressive in size, but your trails, you don't have as pretty of a trail to walk.
Yeah, we drove there. It's kind of like a rocky trail.
And it's very short. It's
It's
not very
very
long.
short, but at the top, I think in this, there's a couple pictures of us at the top. and then we went down to the bottom. And again, it's on the video that we did at the waterfalls in Pennsylvania. Moving on to the next slide is more waterfalls. So from there, this is the bottom of the second falls right here. When we were walking down, you'll see the icicles because there was a mist. It was cold. There's the icicles there forming onto the trees. From there, we went to
I'm not sure how to say it's Shohola Falls, and this was on our way back. This is part of the directions that the hotel gave us. We didn't do every stop, but we did those 3 stops.
and this picture right here is the one where the dam,
Yeah, that's
the
Shohola
yeah, the
Falls.
dam was right above us, so that's where the water was being released, and this is it was really strong water coming down there. Yeah, that was really cool.
And then our last stop of the day was actually not falls, but Schumann Point, which is a point along a hiking trail. It's a 3-mile trail along Lake Wallenpaupack.
How do we say it again? I was always getting it mixed up. Wallenpaupack. What was it called again?
Wallenpaupack.
Wallenpaupack, right. So, and that's our next slide here. So these are the trails. So the waterfalls that you just saw, the last one was by the dam. That that was the water, how high it was above this above the deck there. So then we took this trail that it was like we didn't know, we kind of knew it was 3-mile trail, but you see there was ice and there was snow. Well, the trail was covered in ice and snow, so it was hard to walk in. By the time we got out of there, our boots were soaked, our jeans were dirty, and like right here, you can see our jeans were dirty and wet. But
was it's so like a low-lying area, so because of all the rain and stuff, it was kind of flooded back there.
Yeah.
In points, but it is a beautiful walk along the lake. It's a lot longer than you think it is when you look at the trail map. It took us
over an hour and a half. I kept pulling my phone out to see where we were. Thank God the phone was picking up our location, and you can see the trail on the phone. So yeah, it took us a while to get there. I was getting kind of mad near the end because it was a long day.
It wasn't the best marked trails. We've had other trails where they color code it.
Yeah.
And you could easily follow it on the trees. This one, there were certain areas where we really kind of lost the trail. And luckily it had snowed and there was somebody that had walked the trail before us. So in a couple of spots, we were actually following footprints because the trail itself was not very clearly marked.
And we did have a squall go through. There was a lot of wind that day, and we had snow. So this was the first snow we've seen in a long time. So if you see latest videos I put out there of snow, we've just gotten snow in our area, but this was the first bit of snow we've seen in almost 2 years. So we didn't know what the trail was going to be like. And yeah, some of the trees, like there was a blue color on the trees, and it was hard to see that in the trail. I think they need to, I guess, paint it again. But yeah, it was fun. It was a long day. We got back. I think we had dinner reservations that night.
Yeah, well, the places we ate in the hotel, and I'll
move to the next slide for that.
They have odd food if you like.
This is the dessert at the hotel.
If you like unusual foods, this is the place for you. If you don't, I did find something on the menu, and so did my husband, that we both really liked. It was good food. The only complaint I had was people from the bar, because the bar is behind you. People from the bar were constantly walking through the restaurant to get to the deck to view the falls.
Yeah.
So I would say that was my only really big complaint. So if you get a seat there, try to avoid getting a seat by the door because it was a little cold.
Right. Didn't we have a voucher too for food?
Yeah. When we made the reservation, they did give us a voucher for breakfast. So the next day we ate, there were 2 choices of breakfast. There was the Settlers Inn, which is one of their other hotels.
Which I'm sorry, we don't have any pictures of.
It's a beautiful old hotel, And then the other choice you had was kind of like a fast food coffee shop. It's called the
That's
Cocoon.
that's it right here. This is the picture. And we actually met the owner of who owns all these restaurants, and he was giving us, and actually Dorothy gave him a little bit of a critique on stuff, and he actually wrote it down on some things that she'd like to see them they could improve on.
So the Cocoon is where the silk mill is. So we ate there one morning for breakfast. That food was delicious,
Hmm.
but it's like counter service
Yeah, I
type
did. I had
foods.
like toast and bacon with
You had like a sandwich, didn't you?
yeah, no, it was
Yeah.
toast with guacamole, right?
Yeah.
And bacon on top. Yeah, it was pretty good. That's when we were talking to the owner.
But the Settlers Inn, their breakfast was delicious, and that was a really it.
Not
We
a lot of
spent
food.
not a lot of food, and it's all farm to table. So again, your selection is kind of limited, and the it we went over our voucher by like $13.
Yeah.
Where the Cocoon, we pretty much stayed on track with what they offered us. Then the other restaurant we decided to eat at was called the Dock,
And
which
that's
is
right here, right? There's a picture of it at night when the sun was going down. This was in our we were sitting
so this was
inside.
a beautiful view. I imagine in the summer packed. The food was just okay.
Yeah,
I didn't, as far as
a lot of food. I had a lot
it
on
was a
mine.
lot, but I didn't think the quality was quite the same as the other restaurants that they had. But I'm assuming you're also there for the ambiance because it is, if you can hit it where you're there during sundown, because the
But
sun sets on that side, it'd be
the waiter
beautiful.
told us, like, it's off season. During the season, you have all the renters up here. It's pretty packed. So if you go up in the summer, I think he said between 2 o'clock on, that whole time it's packed. So you got to make a reservation.
And
We
if you like cannolis, I highly recommend getting the cannolis in the
at the
restaurant
restaurant,
at our
at our
hotel.
hotel. Yeah.
The cannolis were
Yeah, so
delicious.
the at the dock we didn't get any dessert. So Dorothy was like, I really want to go back to the restaurant at the hotel and just get some cannolis. So she ordered two cannolis and sat. We just again the water was raging still, so we watched the water. Now right there, that shot, that's the
Chocolate place. It's called Muka Origins, and this is they do have a tour. We missed the tour because it was Saturday morning when we arrived, but it is also one of their places. And if you like dark chocolate, this is definitely the place to go. They have a lot of different flavors. If you only like milk chocolate, it's probably not for you, but it is neat because it's all glass
mm-hmm.
and you can walk anytime and watch the employees
Yeah.
making the
And I
chocolate.
I do have a video out there, and it was funny as I was videoing, the guy was in the back, and I just said, "Can I ask you some questions?" And you'll see on our video I posted on Mr. Stan 913 that he was answering any question we had. It was almost like taking our own little private tour, and I was videoing all the way to the back to where they were packing some of the stuff for orders. And then we sat down and had their hot chocolate. Eh,
It was
it was
okay.
okay. I can actually
It's
admit,
dark chocolate.
yeah, but Darth, yeah, I thought your hot chocolate that you make in the summer, in the wintertime, was a lot better than theirs. We actually shared it, but Dorothy does make a heck of a good hot chocolate in the winter. And comparing it to what she makes, I thought hers was a lot better. It's dark chocolate there, but the grounds was huge, right?
Yeah.
There was big grounds, but they don't. All their cocoa beans don't come from. They can't plant them up there because it's too cold. They get them from overseas. But again, I left a video of that on Mr. Stan 913, along with the hotel, along with the walking trail and the waterfalls. But overall, if you want to spend 2 nights,
2 nights, 3 nights. I mean, if you like hiking, you like being in nature, great antiquing, it's definitely you could do 3 days.
yeah, and it did.
And in the summertime, if you went in the summer, you'd also have boating and kayaking and all that.
Yeah, because we alongside the roads, we did see like a lot of the the floating docks were all out of the water, so you could tell this was a big tourist attraction, a rental area
And
around the lake.
they also have beaches.
Yep.
in the summer. So definitely summertime, you could probably spend a week up there.
And the price we paid for the hotel, I think he said would double. So, yeah, I
Yeah.
think we paid like 200-300 a night. He said it doubles during the busy season. So we like doing stuff like this. This very in off season to see what it's like. There's the coffee shop, which I thought was really cool, and we sat there for a good
Yeah, and
hour.
the right behind the coffee shop is a little shopping area. And just to be aware, I didn't realize they're closed on Mondays.
Yeah,
So
she wanted to go back and buy
yeah, there
it.
was something there that I saw, and I was going to wait until Monday, and then they were
And it's
closed.
one floor, so one floor of all these different shops, clothing. There's people getting their nails done. There's a
So
gym.
the
There's a gym in
gym,
there. There,
some secondhand store, just a kind of a mix mash of little shops, but it's only the first floor.
and there is a tour of the mill, isn't there?
There is. They offer a tour during the week.
Yeah, and then I think that was about it. The town was. Then we drove into a couple other little towns. A lot of it was closed because we were off that Monday. I think it was Martin Luther King Day. Um, but it was really cool to see just these little towns in Pennsylvania, which we're going to continue to do. We do have trips planned for this summer, not in Pennsylvania. We got trips down south, our Jersey Shore trips. And I know you probably saw that Dorothy has begun her Easter crafts. So we have some Easter crafts coming,
Some garden crafts.
some garden crafts. We have, I'm going to be posting some videos, with the weather the way it was. It was pretty beautiful yesterday. But again, we hope you enjoyed this live stream. We're going to continue to do this on after some of our trips. So again, please continue to watch. If it's your first time, if you like it, give us a thumbs up. Give us a comment below or in the page. This is Mr. Stan 913. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.